OK, moving on now. A groundbreaking study has found that weight loss drugs like Ozempic can reduce the risk of heart attack and strokes by a fifth.
Cardiologists say these jabs are the most significant development in heart disease since statins in 1990, but does it come without risk? We're going to talk now to the journalist and friend of the show, Carol Malone, who's on Ozempic, and NHS GP Dr David Lloyd. Dr Lloyd, can we speak to you first? A lot of viewers are getting in touch and listeners getting in touch saying, well, I want Ozempic, but I can't get it on the NHS. What are the rules?
So the rules are, for an ordinary general practitioner, we can't prescribe Ozempic and its other drugs for obesity alone. We can only prescribe it for diabetes. And such is the demand for Ozempic that we've actually been given directions that we can only just start prescribing it again for our diabetics. So the huge demand that we've had for people with obesity around the world has really restricted the availability of semaglutide, which is the active ingredient, and other drugs like it. So, yes, we're very much restricted.
So, Carol, did you manage to find Ozempic privately then? Is that, is that how you managed to get it?
You can source it online, and you have to find a reputable company. The company that I use is called Juniper, and you buy the supplies online. You go through a process where you get interviewed, you get talked, they talk to you about your weight, and then if they think you're suitable, then you're allotted the drug. It's an interesting. This study is incredible. It's the biggest study of its kind ever. It's 17,000 people, and it's a game changer. It's been described as a game changer by John Deanfield, who was one of the this is for art, but the other
I think we've
is
lost
that it
Carol.
helps people lose weight, and it has helped millions of people.
Dr Lloyd, if...
Really?
we're just going to go to Dr Lloyd. So if the government accepts this study and that this can then be prescribed to help people with heart disease, is there going to be enough Ozempic in the world?
Well, perhaps can I just talk slightly technical just for a moment?
Sure.
So this study shows that there is a huge reduction in the amount of heart disease over the 3-year study, and that equates to, if you were to give Ozempic to 65 people, you would prevent one heart attack or stroke. Now, if you compare that to a statin, you need to give 45 people a statin to prevent a heart attack or a stroke. So the rate at which these drugs affect the chance of getting a heart attack or a stroke are roughly the same, but statins do have the slight edge. Now, in this country at the moment, about 7 million people take a statin at the cost to the NHS of about £3 a month. If you do the calculation, we think that about 12 million people should be taking a statin every month, again at the cost of £3 a month. And so that will, if you multiply 1 in 65 by those 3 million, that will be the number of lives that we would save if everybody was on a statin who should be on it. Now, the cost of Ozempic is about £300 a month. Oh. So if we were to put everybody who needed a semaglutide on this drug, we would cost the country billions and billions of pounds. So it's a big decision already. I mean, I'm afraid I'm a very old GP, but when I first started, the drug bill on the NHS was about 4 or 5% of the total bill of the NHS. It is now 18%. So every time you get a new drug and you spend billions on it, you have to find the cuts elsewhere, which means doctors and nurses losing their jobs. So it is a hugely complicated equation, but there's no doubt at all. These drugs are absolutely amazing, and clinically we've seen the weight loss you can achieve with diabetics, and you can get Ozempic on the NHS for weight loss if you are referred to a specialist weight clinic, and there the benefits can be measured and accurately.
Yeah. And Carol, how is it?
I want to get over. I do want to get over this message. There are 4 million people in this country who should be on a statin, and they have very few side effects. The risk of side effects in a statin is less than 1%, but 20% of people who take Ozempic vomit.
There are some cardiologists who would say actually they don't feel the same way about statins at the moment.
Absolutely,
actually, they would like more emphasis on diet. I just have to put the other side of that though, on diet and exercise.
Statins that have been around for 40 years. They are infinitely safe.
Doctor, with respect, you are denigrating a drug that one of the top cardiologists in the country has just said cuts heart attacks by 20%, heart attacks and strokes.
I'm not denigrating it. I'm saying it's a fantastic advance. I'm saying it's a fantastic advance, and compared to statins, they are very similar.
You don't sound like you're talking about like it's a fantastic advance.
Well, really? What am I trying to say? What do you think I'm trying to say?
It just sounds like you're saying everyone should take statins and not Ozempic.
We've run out of time, both of you. It's such a shame. We could have drilled down into that in a lot more detail. Carol Malone, of course, and NHS GP Dr. David Lloyd. I'm so sorry we ran out of time, both of you.